The local authority in Ma'rib Governorate set a plan for housing the displaced people. The IDPs are currently occupying the government's buildings. More details are in the following report.
Difficult living conditions that the displaced families cling to in order to survive, as the city of Ma'rib contained the largest concentration of displaced people. It made access to food, medicine, water, and housing very difficult, especially with the lack of humanitarian interventions. Here in these government buildings located in the center of the city, hundreds of families have been displaced to escape the war. Some of them have resorted to different places. Dozens of families have been evacuated from their homes to places designated for displacement, especially since the city contains several camps, after the people demanded the reclamation of their lands, while the local authority says that the goal of evacuating the displaced come to activate the role of government and service institutions and to find places designated for displacement.
First of all, we as the executive unit for the displaced in Ma'rib Governorate thank the host families and community inside the governorate that hosted the displaced people in their homes for giving their lands and private properties to the displaced people to live in and use during the time of their displacement.
The museum buildings in El Zara'a neighborhood are witnessing massive overcrowding of displaced families, including the roofs of the buildings with the use of stairs as kitchens for some families. Families live in difficult conditions that lack many of the requirements of life. These worn-out tents do not protect them from the nature conditions or keep them safe.
We saw that they provide the displaced people with camps and homes that are close to local services, schools, hospitals, which is very important as families have members who are sick and injured.
A terrible situation that the displaced people live in, and their life is becoming more difficult day after day. Will evacuating them from these places change their living situation, or will the relocation from them represent a new chapter of suffering and displacement in the outskirts of the governorate?